Welcome. My name is Beverly Popek, and I'm a Supervising Compliance Officer at the Office of Labor Standards Enforcement, City and County of San Francisco. Our office is here to help you understand your compliance requirements. Today, I'm going to take you through the Healthy Airport Ordinance, also known as the HAO. This presentation is for San Francisco International Airport, SFO, QSP, Quality Standards Program, employers. The Healthy Airport Ordinance is a requirement for all SFO QSP employers, and the Office of Labor Standards Enforcement administers and enforces the Healthy Airport Ordinance. Background information. On November 10th, 2020, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors amended the Healthcare Accountability Ordinance, also known as HCAO. They created specific requirements for SFO QSP employers, and this amendment became known as the Healthy Airport Ordinance and became operative on March 21st, 2021. It's one of our newest ordinances. The covered employers are exclusively SFO QSP employers. If you're not sure if you're a QSP employer at the San Francisco International Airport, please contact the QSP unit directly at the email address or phone number listed on this slide. Covered workers. The QSP employees at SFO are covered under the Healthy Airport Ordinance. All hours worked are covered and there are no minimum requirements. If you're unsure if you have QSP employees, you should contact the QSP unit at the airport. This is their email address and phone number. So please remember that you must be a QSP employer to have QSP employees. For every QSP worker, the employer must comply with the Healthy Airport Ordinance, and you have two options. You get to choose these options. The first option is all about health insurance, and it's offering each covered employee and the employee's dependents a health plan that meets the requirements at no charge to the employee. The requirements specify a Platinum Family Plan, and you should take a look at our HAO website for more information about the health plan requirements in the Frequently Asked Questions document. You can also watch the Healthy Airport Ordinance Health Plan Requirements on Demand video. After meeting the Platinum requirement, you may offer additional health plans at the Gold level only that meet the plan requirements. Buy-up options are allowed, and you may require your employee to pay a contribution towards the Gold plans. However, please note that the cost is limited to the difference between your premium cost of the most expensive Platinum plan and your premium cost of the Gold plan. This slide talks about the definition of dependents. Dependents include a covered employee's spouse or registered domestic partner, and the covered employee's child, which shall include any legally adopted child, recognized natural child, stepchild, foster child, and minor legal ward. And in accordance with federal law, coverage of children must be made available until a child reaches the age of 26, even if the young person no longer lives with the covered employee, is not a dependent on the covered employee's tax return, or is no longer a student. When is compliance required? For new employees hired after April 1st, 2021, compliance is required no later than the first of the month after 30 days from a covered employee's start date, and the offer must be made on an annual basis. So if you're offering health insurance, it's your responsibility to collect a yes or a no for each covered employee. A yes would be an enrollment form, and a no would be through a voluntary HCAO QSP waiver. So when do you use this form? You're only going to be able to use this form if your employee does not want to accept your Platinum health plan or health plans that you've offered. You can only use the voluntary form if you have offered the health plans that, of course, met the requirements at no charge. Remember that the declination is voluntary and the employee gets to decide whether or not they would like your offer. And you cannot ask employees to sign the form if they have insurance from another source. The reason for declining is very specific and very limited. If employees have health coverage from another source and they would like to decline your offering, then it would constitute a reason for a voluntary waiver. Please make sure all of the parts of the form that you must fill out is completely filled out before giving the form to the employee. And when you receive the declination or the voluntary waiver form from the employee, please make sure that is completely filled out by the employee, including signature and date. There must be a submission of documentation to show evidence that the covered employee has coverage from another source. Keep all of these documents on file at least 3 years after the termination of your contract. There are best practices when offering an HAO compliant health plan. First, I would have your insurance broker read and understand the HAO plan requirements. They can find this information on our website in our frequently asked questions document. In addition, there's an on-demand video that DPH explains the health plan compliance standards for the HAO. If you think you have a compliant health plan, just don't guess. Have DPH confirm that it meets compliance for the Healthy Airport Ordinance. Send your health plan information directly to Max Gara. He's with the Department of Public Health. His contact information is listed here, and he'll be able to assist you. In any case, the best practice is to receive some sort of acknowledgement in writing, which he will send via email, that your plan is compliant with the HAO. Keep this email on record in your files for at least 3 years after the termination of your contract. This should be done on an annual basis as you may be shopping around for new health plans or you change health plans, etc. You may not want to offer health insurance, and you do have a second option. So let's discuss the second option, which is to simply pay the Healthy Airport Ordinance fee rate per hour. This rate is maxed out weekly at a cap of 40 hours. The rate is adjusted every July 1st, and you can find the current HAO rate on the HAO website. Now, when you pay the HAO fee rate, these rates, these contributions are made directly to a program called the City Option. This is the direct website for the City Option, and this entity administers the City Option plan for employees. The amount you pay is the same for an employee only and an employee with a with a family. When you make contributions, the contributions must be made by the 15th of each month for hours worked in the preceding month. Please inform your employees in writing when you have made the first payment and what to expect. The City Option will help you understand more about the timelines and how long it takes for a deposit and money to show up in an employee's account. So for City Option information and contributions, please contact the City Option. The Office of Labor Standards Enforcement is not the City Option. It is a separate and distinct and different entity. So you'll have to contact them directly to set up an account and to understand how this particular program works. Please mention that you are a San Francisco International Airport employer and you are interested in Healthy Airport Ordinance City Option contributions. Remember that payments are due the 15th of each calendar month. And here again is the website for the San Francisco City Option. and the email address to employer services at San Francisco City option. Posters and forms. You must use the official poster and forms for the Healthy Airport Ordinance, and these posters and forms change annually every July 1st. We have them in English, Spanish, Chinese, and Filipino on our website. Frequently asked questions. Number 1, am I a quality standards program employer? Do I have quality standards program employees? If you're not sure the answer to those questions, you should contact the SFO QSP unit directly at the email address or phone number to determine if you're a QSP employer and or if you have QSP employees. Union and non-union employees, who's covered under this ordinance? It's really simple. All QSP employees are covered under the Healthy Airport Ordinance. The HAO does not allow a collective bargaining agreement waiver, so there are no waivers for this particular law. Number 3, when do I have to start complying? If you are complying by offering a compliant health plan no later than the first day of the month after 30 days from the covered employee's start of employment, or if you're complying by making contributions via the city option, it's 30 days from the covered employee's start of employment, make payments by the 15th of the following calendar month. Number 4, I have different types of employees, variable hour and people who work consistently 40 hours a week. Does my compliance option have to be the same for all employees? The answer is no. You just need to comply for each type or each employee, and the option does not have to be the same for all employees who work for you at SFO. So, for example, in this situation, you could offer the people who work 40 hours a week consistently, perhaps the Platinum Family Plan. And if you have variable hour employees, maybe you want to comply by offering the city option. Those are just examples of how you can comply, but you get to decide, you get to choose on the method of compliance. Whatever you do, create a policy, be consistent, and certainly publish a policy and let your employees know and understand what to expect. Number 5, do I have to have employees sign the waiver form? If you have offered a compliant health plan and the employee does not want the health plan because they have another plan, then you can ask the employee to sign the voluntary waiver form. Please remember that the employee must provide supporting documents to show that they have coverage from another source, and signing the form is voluntary. So remember, as an employer, you must get a yes or a no regarding your offer of compliant health insurance for each covered employee. Yes is the enrollment form, and no is the voluntary waiver form. So this is the URL directly to the Healthy Airport Ordinance website. On this website, we have the amendment, the frequently asked questions document, posters and forms, and a lot of other things. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to share the website. So this is the Office of Labor Standards website. And what you need to do is go to Contractor Laws and select Healthcare Accountability Ordinance. The reason being is that the Healthy Airport Ordinance is an amendment of the Healthcare Accountability Ordinance. So let's select that. This is the Healthcare Accountability Ordinance, HCAO website. And at the very top, it talks about the HCAO amendment, which is exactly what we're looking for. The very first bullet point is the Healthy Airport Ordinance webpage. So let's click on that. And here we are. There is some webinar. It's a recorded webinar that you can play, as well as the webinar slides. And at the very next section, we have a description of how to comply with the Healthy Airport Ordinance with the two different options. There's the contact information for Max Gara, as well as contact information for the San Francisco City option. Now, this very next section is super important if you're really interested in reading the Healthcare Accountability Ordinance, the actual ordinance itself. The first link has the Healthcare Accountability Ordinance complete with all of the amendments that created the Healthy Airport Ordinance. Then the two next links or bullet points, this is actually the Healthy Airport Ordinance. The Healthy Airport Ordinance was created by two separate amendments. So these are the two. I would say you can just read the first version and you could read the entire um, understanding and inclusion of all the amendments. It's not as confusing. The frequently asked document is posted here. It has answers and it has the information about the health plan requirements regarding if you want to make a health plan offering. Um, the form section follows where we have the notice or poster. We have it English, Spanish, Chinese, and Filipino. Next, we have the Know Your Rights forms. Then we have the voluntary waiver form. This next section is all about the QSP program. There is a link to the QSP description, and you can read all about that, and the contact information for the QSP. At the very bottom, we have some recorded on-demand webinars, and at the very, very bottom of this page, this is the contact information so that you can ask questions and perhaps make an appointment if you would like to do so. So let's go back here. This is the Healthy Airport Ordinance direct link to the website where you wouldn't have to navigate through HCAO. But either way, if you Google Healthy Airport Ordinance, I think you will probably end up all at the same place. If you have any questions, anything you need at all, don't hesitate to contact us. This is our direct phone number and email address. Thank you.